Okay, so today I want to show you how to make your own stamps. I'm not pretending that I'm going to show you how to do something like that or like that, which is very intricate, and unless you have a specific machine to do that, I don't think you can do that by hand unless you are really good in carving. Also, these things are less intricate but still rather fine. It's going to be more like this than the other ones. Anyway, I'm going to show you what I already did. So the simplest and easiest ones are those ones. So I made that with corks, as you can see, thing to close your bottle. I don't know, yes, we call that corks. So don't forget that as it's a stamp, it's on the other side when you do it. I mean, it's in reverse. That is supposed to be a cat face. That was supposed to be, I think, a flower, but we don't recognize. The heart that I use very often. A star, which is a little weird, but I used it also very often. And also, what did I do? I did those ones. So those ones, I very often used that, this one, and the heart also. That is a good one. So there are two possibilities, or you make some raised pattern like that. So I cut with a kind of cutter or anything which cuts will work. Also there is some specific knives for wood which cut. I don't know if I have one here, let's see. No, I don't have it here. But you can use a cutter like this, or like this, or even something more elaborate. Just be careful not to cut yourself, of course. So as I was saying, you can do that as raised pattern, or on contrary, by digging in the material. So this material was a gardening pad. You know, it's to put on the ground when you put your knees to make some gardening, you know, and it's very good. I will show you how they work anyway, all of them. Then I did those ones. This one, this is a material that I actually bought. This is something that I bought in an arts and craft store, so it's some artist carving block. But you don't have to buy something like that, it works well. This one is really good, but you can recycle other materials. Those ones, I made that in kind of rubber sheets for etching. Yes, it's for etching. So it works, but not as well because they are not deep enough. But it's another way. But I like to recycle materials. What else? Yes, you can also use simply something like that. It's not going to be very neat because it's not very deep, but it's going to give you an effect if you put the paint really on the surface and not in the hollows. Or things like that that I kept, comes from the packaging. I tried it already. It gives you something not everywhere, but in some area. It's fun. Or things like that. Same thing, it was the packaging. So you put the paint on the raised pattern and it works. Also, when you use a stencil, for example, you can use this thing as a stencil. But once it's full of paint, you can put your fabric on another sheet of paper and do this, and you will see that all the paint on the surface is going to transfer on the paper, being used like a stamp. There are so many possibilities. Anyway, I'm going to show you all of them. Oh, just one last thing. Those ones, so I used this morning A material, you know, I had some meat. Oh, it didn't remain very well glued, so I must use another glue. Anyway, it's, you know, it's kind of a tray where there is the meat in it. Of course, I washed it carefully to remove all the greasy parts. And, for example, I glued one on the other to be used as a stamp. I never tried those ones. This one I did it like this. I never tried those ones, so I'm going to try them in front of you. This is more simple, and this to do like that. And I wanted to try that to see if the pattern was going to transfer. I glued them together, but you see it doesn't stay. I must use maybe another glue. I used tacky glue, but obviously it's not enough. I did on the other side, so once one side is dirty, you can turn it and do it like that. So we are going to try all this to show you. Here I have a little journal that I made with recycled envelopes. It's really badly done. It's the first time that I recycle envelope. It was just a try. I wanted to try, and I put some gesso, some paint on it, and you know, it's just my, I don't know. It's like a draft of something. When I don't know what to do, I'm listening to the bad news, you know, the news on TV, and I'm doing that in the same time. Actually, not on TV, on my phone, because I don't have a TV. But I listen to the Sky News because I don't have access to the BBC News anymore, in live, I mean. Or I listen to the French news or the American news, and that is the result of what I hear. It's a mess, but it's perfect to train myself on stuff. So, let's start. Okay, first I'm going to show you, for example, those ones. I'm not going to do them all, but I'm going to show you a few ones. So there is a very simple way to put some color on a stamp. It's simply to take a roll like this and to put the paint. And the paint must not be too wet, rather dry, and stamp right away. It's the best way to put only the paint on the higher surface. However, those nice guys, they are completely worn. They have been baked by the sun, and I have this one. You see in what shape it is. I have to throw them away. They can't work anymore. So I'm going to use that I bought at Home Depot. It's a little big, but it's all what I have right now. So we will deal with it, okay? For example, I'm going to take some purple. You can also use some ink, specific ink like those for stamps. It works perfectly on paper. Just be careful on objects that they are permanent, because if they are not, then when you varnish or if you continue working on them on the wood, it could not remain. So try to know if they are permanent or not, and it's better to get inks which are permanent if it does exist. Actually, I don't even know. Or maybe you can spray a varnish on it. I don't have a lot here, but let's see. I hope that you see what I'm doing. Yes, you see. So for example, and do I have a brayer? Yes, I do have a brayer. That is also a good way to be sure that it stamps. So you see, I had a little paint here, it transferred here, but you see that it works as a stamp. Let's try this one. Is there enough paint on it? Great, you see? And I did that stamp, so you know, I'm not a champion in carving. I did as well as I could, and it works, obviously. I didn't put enough paint. I should have added some paint. Then you can rinse them to remove the paint, but even if some paint remains a little, it's not a big deal. On this one, it's a little big. You see, maybe I didn't have enough paint, but well, you see how it works. So gardening pads works well. Now, okay, I'm going to try maybe on another page. Let's see, on what do I want to do that? Yes, I'm going to try here. My Y. So you see, that works really well. Some cork, perfect. The star. I like that it looks a little irregular. Do you see? Yes, you see. Oops. Sorry. Okay. And then I will do my heart. I don't need to do them all. I will do just the one that I like the most and that I use the most. And they work really well. You see? So cork, it works. Now this one, those ones made with etching sheet, I'm going to try which one? Okay, let's try the hearts as we are in the hearts. I will try with that. Okay, I didn't put it by an even way everywhere, so that's when the brayer is very useful. No, so you see on an irregular surface that is too flat. Let's see if it would work with some paint. I'm going to try. I don't have enough paint once again. Oh, I completely damaged that. Okay, let's see. I'm not going to tell you that it's very clean work. You will have your hands full of paint. I think it's not going to work well. Let's see. No, you know, those ones, they don't work well. So the etching sheets, not really reliable. Good to know. I already used them, but probably the surface was more smooth and it was working better. But if you have an irregular surface like this one, not so good. Let's try the printing block. You don't need a brayer also, that works really well, but it's made for that. So you see that works really well, so no surprise. Okay, now I want to try the things that I made this morning. So that. I try to put some generously. And you see the fact that there is like something to catch it is very convenient. Well, not perfect, but not so bad either, considering the fact that the surface is not straight. Not so bad. I'm rather satisfied. Okay, this thing is completely damaged. Maybe I'm going to try another one. Let's see if this one is working. Way! Okay, this one works rather well. But let's see those ones. I put the mess in 2 minutes. Let's see if these ones like that. Just. Yes. Oh. Oh. I should have done the contrary. That was supposed to be the top. Okay, let's do it like this. Yes. So I'm very satisfied. So good to know, if you buy some meat, the tray where the meat is, very good. Then I'm going to find another white page because on the white we can see it better. Cat hair again. I start to be used to it. Okay, so you see this, there is kind of pattern here. I want to see if it's going to transfer. I'm working on paper here, so even if the ink is not permanent, it's not a big deal because I'm not going to wash my journal, as you can imagine. Let's see. Wow! Wow! I can't believe it! It's wonderful! So, you see, I discovered at the same time as you did. I never did it like that before. Very good, but I recommend the brayer. The brayer helps to transfer the ink. Like that. Yes, definitely the brayer helps a lot. I love when I do a discovery of something new. I already used these trays for other stuff, but now it's a new way. I love it. I love it. So you must find something like that and you have your stand. Okay, now I'm going to show you these things. These things, it's much less obvious because it's not very sturdy, so it gives something very irregular, but I will show you just so you know. A little paint that I have remaining here, and let's see how it transfers. Now, you see, that doesn't work on something like that. Maybe I didn't put enough paint also. Yeah, maybe I'm going to change of paint because I'm fed up to use always the same one. Let's see. Green, dark green. Not so much my style, but sometimes I have something with the green. I don't know why. Oh, I must close that. Okay, let's see if more paint would work better with this thing. Let's see. There is definitely more paint here. It's going to be very irregular, but let's see. I don't like to finish on something which didn't work. It works, but it's not great. Okay, now I am going to try this one with the green. Oh, I put some paint everywhere. Okay, let's see. Oh, not bad. Don't pay attention to that. It's me. I put some paint. It's an accident. But you see, it does transfer. If you use the brayer, it works better for that. And let's see with this one, which was in the packaging to protect things. Is there enough paint to transfer? I'm not sure. I should add a little paint. All my paint are damaged because of the sun and the heat, and everything is drying, and it's a true catastrophe. Let's try that. Well, no, too soft, not great. Not great at all. And to finish, yes, I'm going to try this one. So this one, no, I didn't show you this one. This one, it's something that I did in material, you know, for flowers, to make flowers at the center of a table, and you put it in a bowl, this material, you add some water, and you dig and you plant, you put your flowers in the material, which is like that originally. You can also find them like this, dry foam for floral craft. You see, it's very soft. So I did this one. I must find the paint which is very visible. Paint gray. Let's see if it's not dry. Oh, this one is perfect. Of course, you are supposed to have a clean roll, because otherwise the previous paint is going to transfer in the new paint. But as this gray is very dark, it doesn't really matter. So let's try that. Here. Not great. It transfers, but the result is not what I want. Once again, my surface is not smooth, so it's not very easy. But however, the material is not as good as those ones, or as the corks. Let's try again that, just to see if it would work better with the dark color that I'm putting everywhere. Fortunately, it's not finished. So let's see if it works better like that. Ah, now I have. So it was a matter of paint. It was a matter of paint. Maybe it's the same thing with that. I will try with this new paint. So you must put generously, yes, some paint, otherwise obviously it doesn't work. Let's try. But the material is really soft. It's not great. I think I'm going to throw away this thing because it doesn't work correctly. Oh, you know, it makes some stuff, but it's not very precise. It's not great. This one works not so bad. This one is great. Can't believe it. I love this one. And okay, the printing block is perfect. This one, you see, when you put more paint, works much better. And the corks are great. I'm just going to show you how it works, but I hope, oh, it's torn actually. Usually I put some repositionable glue to keep the stencil in place, so I'm afraid it's not going to be very neat. But you see, you have some paint on the stencil, so you see how it transfers. Okay, when you take it again, your stencil, and you put underneath where the paint is, you take your brayer and it should transfer like a stamp. I hope you manage to see. Well, no, the result is not great, probably because I moved it. So you see that is working well. However, this thing is not going to work well as a stamp because it's too soft. If you have a true stencil which is rigid, it works better. Okay, so of course if you take a true stamp, it's going to work really well. For example, to show you, I'm going to continue with silver as we are on the silver page. You see, I don't know if you manage to see, but of course that is easy. You know why? Because it's not soft and there is the wood block which helps. I will try this one too. I think I never used this one. We don't see well. I must do it on a white page. Or maybe a yellow page. Let's see. I think that a stamp works well because there is the wood block behind. So more your stamp is going to be thick, more it's going to work well. For example, let's try this one. More your stamp is thin or soft or not really very rigid, less it's going to work. That's why I use the brayer, because it pushes the paint or the ink better. Oh, you see, that worked really well. That is nice. I really like that. So those ones work well. Those ones work well. Those ones work really well. Those ones, how did it work? Not so well. Not so well. But I think that something like that which is less textured and more smooth probably will work better. And this one worked really well, but it's made for that, so it's normal. But you see how dense it is? You see, it's very dense. That's probably why it worked. And this works really well. I really love it. You see, I didn't even put back some ink, and this one worked really, really well. So, you already have a stamp. I suppose you buy some meat if you are not vegetarian. You already have a stamp that you can find for free. So, sorry for the mess. When I start working, I can stop and I have some everywhere. Did I forget anything? No, I don't think so. I have to wash all this. Those ones, I have been using them since so much time. You have no idea. You see? just a little paint on it. I don't have enough paint now, but it works really well. I'm finishing the paint. Oh, you see, I didn't have a lot of paint, but it worked. My Y, I used it very often to sign stuff. So of course it means that you cut with the cutter. You make your drawing and then you cut around. Of course it's going to be very simple shapes like that, for example. It's very simple. I mean, you can do something very elaborate, but at least it's going to be unique. It's going to be yours. There won't be other stuff like that. This is very intricate and beautiful, but everybody can have that. That's the difference. I don't very recommend this one, even if it worked. It worked, yes, it worked here. Well, it's supposed to do some etching. If you have a very flat surface and very hard, and with a dark paint, it works. If you want, I can show you maybe. I will try with this one, but with no guarantee. Not enough paint, but it could have been okay. Okay, I will have to clean all that. I will probably keep some. I will probably keep that. I will probably keep that because I love that. I will definitely keep that. That is very nice actually, but that is a stencil. I love that. That is kind of okay, but you know, the only way to know if it works is to try. Okay, I hope it's useful to you. If you have any questions, please ask and I will answer. See you very soon. Bye bye. Bye bye.